Bamideles. Yeah, so it's strange how names change things. Before you know someone's name, you see them differently. But once you know their name, it's like you've gotten closer to them or something just changes. Before that day, he was just the Bamidele's son, or that stupid boy, you know. The voice that gave me orders, a smirk that made my blood boil, and a person that filled the room, you know, with his presence that he didn't even bother to clean. But once you know someone's name, they stop being a shadow. They become real. And real people, they are much harder to hate. The first time I heard his name, it wasn't from him. It was from his father. Deji! The voice echoes throughout the house. You know, deep, authoritative, unbothered by the effort it took to command our attention. The kind of voice that never ever repeated itself. Just imagine that kind of big man voice. Deji appeared instantly. Not lazily, not reluctantly, obediently. And that alone shocked me. Sir? He said. He was standing straighter than I've ever seen him before. Attention. I was in the living room wiping a glass table and I didn't even need wiping. I became so focused on that wiping just so I could see the drama. And my mom was nearby polishing something that was already spotless. The air felt tense, honestly, like something important was about to happen. His father said, I told you to send those documents. Your university doesn't like waiting for people. They won't wait for you. Something like, I was like, university? So he was really university old. I don't understand. University? I began to think about how old this guy could possibly be in reality, you know. Deji was like, he was stuttering. Then his father is like, no excuses. And then his eyes landed on me, on us. I am my mom. He paused and then he smiled. Good afternoon, he said to my mother, slow and deliberate. My mom nodded, smiled back and signed a greeting. I don't even know if he understood her, but his eyes flicked to me again and he said, who is this? My daughter, my mom signed, pointing to me. I straightened unconsciously and told him and greeted him and said, yeah, I'm her daughter. Deji glanced at me at that moment. Something crossed his face. I really couldn't read it. But yeah, I knew something just crossed his face. And then the father was like, you're helping today? I said, yes, sir. Then he nodded approvingly. Good. Hard work builds character. Then to Deji he said, make sure they finish before evening and help them. Before I could process what he said, he walked away. And just like that, my existence was acknowledged and dismissed in one breath. But at least he smiled, you know, he was welcoming. Now after his father left, Deji didn't say anything for a long time. He just stood there, jaw tight, you know. The demon in me was just rearing its head. I don't know why I just told him, hey, you hate being talked to like that, huh? He snapped his head towards me. Mind your business! I bit my lips and held a chuckle. Sorry. But something had shifted. That day he was quieter, he was less sharp, he was less performative. He still gave instructions about how cleaning should be, you know, but without that snap of fingers, without the smirk. Then at one point again, he caught me watching him and he's like, what? I said, you are not as confident as you pretend to be. He laughed, short and bitter. It's like, you think you know me? I said, I think you don't like being Deji Bamidele as much as you act like you do. There was silence. Honestly, that day I was psychoanalyzing him, and I think about it now. I was just looking for trouble. I don't know. I just enjoyed the thought that somebody could just command him, and you know, and he would cower with fear. That was the power his dad had over him. And he wasn't just the almighty Deji that, you know, just give orders to somebody's mother just like that. He looked at me that day. He really looked at me for the first time. You talk too much, he said. I shot back. You listen too little. His lips twitched like he was trying to force back a smile or something. That was the day my feelings betrayed me. Because when he laughed, when he actually laughed, something warm spread through my chest. When he rolled up his sleeves to help move a chair instead of calling for staff, my stomach flipped. When he brushed past me in the hallway, close enough that our arms touched, I forgot how to breathe. I was just a teenager, Lord. I told myself it was just proximity. I told myself it was just curiosity. I told myself it would pass. It didn't. I said not to stupid things. You know, the way he tapped his fingers when he was annoyed, the way he avoided his father's study, the way his voice softened when he spoke to my mother. Now, it seemed like he was being slow, careful, and respectful. Once he tried to speak to her directly. He was like, thank you. He said it in an awkward way, you know. Like, I don't know. Things just changed. And, you know, she smiled, she nodded, and my chest just kept tightening because I was just thinking, if he could be kind to my mom, then what else was I wrong about? Was he really not that spoiled brat, which part I thought he was, you know? That evening, as we were leaving, Deji walked us to the door. Like, he really, really walked us to the door. The front door. And that was new. He was like, you don't have to come tomorrow. He said it without looking at me. I knew he was referring to me, and I said, I know. Then he hesitated. He said, but you can. I looked at him. Our eyes met. And for a split second, the world felt too quiet, too close, too dangerous. As we stepped outside, my mom squeezed my hand again. But this time her grip wasn't really like a warning. It felt like she was scared, I don't know. Because she could probably feel it now, that something was growing and it wasn't safe. It wasn't, just wasn't safe. Till next time, my people, life, lessons, and everything in between.